All right, see if we got any sound now. Do we have any sound? Do we have any sound? Okay, we got sound. All right. Holy cow, I don't know what was going on there, but I couldn't get any sound out of my... I've been having all kinds of problems with my GoPro. Got a big old kink right there. Couldn't get any sound out of one. Oh, we got a little baby brim or a little baby bass. Looks like a brim. Oh man, monster time. I don't know how he got that hook in his mouth. And then I had a little spot right here that I really wanted to fish, and there was a bird sitting on it, just jumped off. We're about to go back up to the dam now that we got all of our technical stuff worked out. Of course, we've alienated anybody that would want to watch. All right. Do a big old backlash out and then we'll head back over. All right, let's try this again. All right, if you're just joining me, I've been having technical difficulties. I think we got it all worked out. We're gonna go back up here to the dam and, oh, I need to pick my trolling motor up. A little help. We'll go back up here and do a little top watering, do a little jerk baiting. Little spinner baiting, let's see what happens. Yeah, Don, it was. Yeah, Don, fishing was tough last night. I got three bite, or I had caught 4 fish. I had more than 3 bites, but I caught 4 fish, and that was it. I've already caught 2 this evening. Actually, I've caught 4 this evening, but 2 of them were little bitty things that that you catch in the river, and then I'm gonna try this one more time, and then we're gonna kind of work up. Caught a pretty nice one going down through here early. Actually, caught 2 nice ones down through here when I started out on the spinnerbait. So we're gonna try that again for a little bit. Maybe we can get another bite doing this. There you go. Oh man, he thunked it too. Felt like a pretty decent bite right there. I'm sure that he will not come back and get it, because that would be not my luck. Oh, I got it. All right. Not a big one, but hey, I'll take bites. I'll take some bites right now. A little spotted bass. I'm gonna say it's better than it was yesterday fishing. I've caught 4 bass and 1 little brim. So that's better than yesterday. Yesterday caught 3 bass in a drum. Right here's got a little fresh water coming in, so oop, how'd that happen? Everybody's all bent up. That's the only problem with some of these, all these new spinnerbaits got that real fine wire on them. Catch a couple of fish and they'll break on you. I already broke one on the first fish I caught. It was an older one, but at least I got everything back. I'm gonna get up here and hug this thing real close and try to make those blades tick the side of that thing. See if I can get something to trigger. That's the cast I want right there. Just kind of slow it down, feel it tick the side of that thing, kind of wake them up, and hope they come in there and grab it. And then there's a little trough out here, I think, right in front of this thing, so I'm make just a cast right out here in front and see if there's anything hanging out here. I think most of these fish are going to be pretty tight to the cover. Are you? Well, I see that'd be good. Everything, man, I went yesterday. Everything was weird on the lake for me. You know, I've been fishing a lot of grass with topwater and stuff, and because the water's coming up, all the grass is, you know, it's under more water than it was, and I'm just I'm just not real confident in what I was doing. So I kind of ended up having to adjust yesterday and do a little jig fishing, and that's how I caught the 2 fish that I caught. But you know, down around Harrison Bay and everything, you gotta deal with boat traffic and all that stupid stuff. Was fishing those islands. I was on one of those shallow flats in between the islands, and a boat came right in there, went right across the area I was trying to fish. So, and it was a fishing boat too. All right, we're gonna get this going. That wasn't a good cast. Probably turn around and flip fish a jig or something down all that stuff and catch a few more fish, but I just don't feel like fishing anything slow. I'm gonna pitch my little top water around this thing. See if anything comes up and slaps it. What's up, Stratosphere? Sod Daisy in the house. Ooh, how in the world? There's one little stop sticking up there, and I threw right over the top of it. Well, if I can make a good cast, maybe I'd catch fish. All right, let's try that again. I'm gonna get right up against this thing here in just a minute and start paralleling it with this thing. See if anything comes up and blasts. Kind of past the point where I like to fish. I'm gonna give it 5 or 6 cofferdams with this, and then we'll switch over to a jerk or something. And I think as you get closer to the dam, you really need to fish deeper. But sometimes they'll suspend, so we're just going to see if we can get one that's suspended. Wants to come out and blast it. I didn't hear about the contractor getting fired, but I did have I did hear about something going on with the project, like I lost funding or something. Another 10-year setback on this bad boy, I guess. Let's try that little smaller one. Smaller baits seem to do better in this river. They'll probably finish it just in time for where they need something bigger. That's about the way government works around here. You when you need to widen the roads, you widen the roads, and then there's so much traffic that you need to widen them again. If you need a dam, it takes you so long that the requirement will be that you need a bigger dam when you get done with the one that you're doing. That's just good government right there. I think everybody figured out that it was horrible today because there is nobody fishing out here. I didn't even hardly see any boats at the dock. They're putting a whole new lock in. These cofferdams, there's a whole new lock in there. I don't know if they're still going to use the old one or not, but I think it's just to have more capacity. More capacity they can pull through the lock at any given time. I don't know that they do a whole lot, but maybe they're planning to increase the amount of river traffic going on through here. Oh, bad cast. Ooh, it's dead. Dead over here. All right, let's get back on this. Appreciate it, Stratosphere. Have a good one. I'm just going to go back to this. Nothing coming up and getting this jerk bait. They've been doing pretty decent. I'd be curious to see this week if they catch any fish. I've been seeing some like 13, 14 pound 3 fish come out lately. I'd be curious to see if they did that this week with that water rising. I'm sure somebody's going to be on. There always are. Ooh, 20 pounds for 3 fish. That's pretty good. Oh, had a bite. I have one come up and miss it. Do not want to come back and play anymore. These two right here, I'm gonna fish them with this popper, and then I'm gonna turn around and throw a tube on them and see if I can get a bite. Nice. Yeah. That's so loud. All right, let me put this. Let me give that other thing a try here. Not really set up for fishing down here. I came over here kind of on a whim. This is I like to do on these things is throw it. Well, usually I do it with like a little straight tail worm. I'll throw it right on the middle of them, and just kind of walk it down the slope. And then there's a couple other casts you can make and kind of cast it over the edge and kind of walk it down the side of it. When they're on it, it doesn't take but a second to get a bite though. And today, I can tell they are not on it. It is out there, just to the left, let it work. Just kind of let it sink down until I can feel it kind of get on the side of that thing, and then I'll just kind of, a lot of times they'll pull it right off the side, or right when you pull it over the edge, there'll be one on it. There we go. Alright, we just came over the edge. No bites on that one. That's a good string for 3. That's a real good string. Were they all about the same size, or were they? You have one giant in there and a couple of largies. Nothing. No. Oh, they're all about the same size. That's pretty cool. I'm not feeling this at all. We'll go over here and hit the current a little bit. See if I see anything that piques my fancy at all. They don't have any current even coming off of right there. You gotta get way out over there to even get to the current. Jeez. Usually it's coming across that little point right there, but there is nothing. It is dead. So dead. Let's do a little jerking out here. My PB, I caught a 1265 in one of those little Sunday Dream Chasers tournaments one day. And that is the biggest bass that I've ever caught or seen. And I think it's also my profile pic on here. And I wasn't gonna burst your bubble, but we had almost 24 that day. And we had that big one, a 7 and a 4. Yeah, 1265. I caught it on a crankbait over by Island Cove Marina, and that's the only bass over 10 pounds I've ever caught. I've caught 7 or 8 9-pounders, but never anything else over 10. Yeah, I was complete. My buddy caught the 7 first, and then I caught that big one, and I was absolutely, oh, there's a fish chasing some shad right there. I was absolutely completely useless after that. I couldn't fish. I couldn't fish at all the whole rest of the day. Well, if you've had a good day like that and you've only been fishing 3 years, you're doing way better than me. Well, this is not my home lake. My real home lake is Weiss Lake in Alabama. That's where I grew up in Rome, Georgia, and that's where I really learned how to bass fish. And I think the biggest stringer I ever caught there was 17 or 18 pounds for 5 fish. At least in a tournament. Fished a long time for that 12-pounder, and haven't seen a big one, a real big one since. That's 7.9. I caught 7.9 on Saturday. That's the biggest bass I've caught this year. All right, I'm gonna go down and fish some banks down this river. There's only so much of this I can do. It's just kind of non-directional. You're just kind of throwing out there, hoping there's something out there. I got a couple of places down here where I can go and I can kind of set up good, and I know there's fish in it. So that's what we're going to do. Not a long run. Oh yeah, I never did fish at JR's a whole lot. I was in Rome, so I fished the upper end a lot. I did a little bit of Chickamauga River. I've actually never fished out of a boat in Little River in that section of lake. I fished just about everything else. I fished just about everything else except for some of that lower end stuff. It was just always tough for me because I'm such a shallow water guy. I used to get out there before there was GPS and everything. I'd get out there and try to find stuff, and every now and then you'd hit one in the head, but that lake's just not as good for the offshore stuff as this one is. You fish shallow pretty much all the time over there, or you either learn how to fish docks real good, or you learn how to fish willow grass, or up in the main river. And that's about all there is down there. I got a few little sneaky spots. I got some videos on it on Weiss, but I don't think I mentioned that I'm on Weiss. Real good topwater lake though. My favorite lake, I don't know. I think it's probably Guntersville because it kind of reminds me of Weiss the way it's laid out. It's got a lot of shallow flats and stuff like that, but then it's got the grass. It's just got the grass, and it's so big and it's got so much to fish that I just feel like you could potentially find something that nobody's caught, find a fish that nobody's cast to. I mean, that's kind of a big statement because Guntersville is probably the most overfished lake in the country. but it's just got so much grass that I feel like, you know, a lot of people target real specific stuff. They're going to target that. They're going to target that structure and like the grass on the structure and everything like that. But there's, I guarantee there's something on that lake somewhere that's being overlooked. And I mean, it's just got wads and wads of quality fish too. And that grass just keeps it. It's just so healthy. It's a lot of fun to fish, and like I say, it lays out likewise. So I feel like I can fish the way I like to fish. I can fish top water. I can fish pretty much anything. You know, this spring I was out there, I was fishing a lot of jerk baits and crank baits and stuff like that. And that's just the way I like to fish. Chickamauga, man, Chickamauga is a tough lake for me. I do well there, but a lot of times to catch fish, I have to fish ways that I don't really like to fish. It's just got a little bit more depth, and my God, Watts Bar is even worse. I was liking Nickajack when it was kind of coming on before the eelgrass really took a hold, where you could find good clumps. But now that it's just kind of everywhere, it makes it a lot tougher for me. I mean, I know the lake is kind of hitting its peak right now. I know they caught the state record there, but I never did really like. Oh, I went down there. I like it, but it fishes. Nickajack fish is really small, so it fishes smaller than Chickamauga to me. You got 3 or 4 like key areas where everybody fishes, and it felt weird. And there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot else going on. With no current, I don't know if we're gonna catch any fish through here, but if we don't, we'll go on down to the. There's a guy off the bank right where I really wanted to fish. I just wanted to try this. Usually get a couple little scrubs right through here. But I'll take. I'll take gunnerful over all those, especially around here. I went to last year we went to Headwaters, and that was pretty neat. But man, it's just nothing but grass. So you better be ready to. I have a lot of trouble breaking down just miles and miles of grass, and it was a tough lake for me. We caught a couple of good ones, a couple of real big ones, but. Oh, that's pretty cool. If you get, I mean, give it a shot, man. It's awesome. I mean, it's a lot of fun, especially if you get to go with somebody that knows where to go. If you're not real good at finding fish, give it a shot. It's got some good ones for sure. I've got several videos of me fishing down there, catching some really nice ones on top water. And it's this time of year. It's like June, July, late June, early July, and I'm fishing it over top of these flats. And these fish just bust it, man. Just busting it. Well, usually get one right in here, but nothing. I'm gonna go around this guy that's on the bank. But I've been pretty lucky. I've gotten to fish a lot of good bodies of water. I've been to Santee Cooper. I lived in Maryland right next to the Potomac for a few years. Potomac's a really a lot of grass, but it's shallow and they can Guntersville's not bad. I mean, Guntersville's just a river, man. You get that river and it's north and south. But are you talking about Fellsmere or are you talking about Guntersville? Fellsmere is easy to get lost on. If you don't have a GPS down there, you're gonna be struggling. There's a little hole right here. That guy was kind of sitting right where I needed to be fishing. So I'm gonna make all the excuses in the world for why I'm not catching any fish. Chief among them is the current. There's just not any current down here. I came up here on the weekend and they were pulling more water, and I'm like, I don't understand why they wouldn't be pulling some during the week. Getting no bites, no love whatsoever. There's a couple lay down logs over here that have been here for a really long time. I'm gonna try my top water over the top of those things when we get to them. But it is dead. But you would think when it's dead like this and you got a little oh yeah. I mean, that's how we won most of our tournaments, was fishing soft plastics. But man, and it was fun for a few years, but I mean, you do the same thing, especially like you fish the CBA. CBA is the same lake every in the world. You know, you're fishing Chickamauga every month, launching out of the same place every month, trying to beat the same guys every month, fishing for second because Drake and Vetton are good. We'll pull out just a little bit. Other thing about tournament fishing, man, is you just have to, doesn't really matter how you want to fish, you got to do whatever you got to do to win. But a lot of times I'd rather be doing something like this, but I got to be fishing a worm in order to, ooh, they're chasing some bait out here. I need to change this line out. I got a bad spot. That'll be a job for tonight or tomorrow. And I like fishing. I mean, I like fishing soft plastics and stuff when you can catch a lot of fish, but sometimes you're just grinding. It's tough when you grind out. When you grind out for 5 fish and get 13 or 14 pounds, and you know. Oh, a little tiny fish. Yep. That's how they do everybody around here. They take all the money, everybody else is just fishing for the scraps. And that's aside from the little baby, aside from the forward-facing sonar thing. That's why I quit fishing the CBA. It's real discouraging. I mean, there were a few times we had 23, 24 pounds and never could get over the hump, man. There we go. Let's see a big one come up and blast this thing. Yeah, there's definitely a really bad spot right there. I mean, those guys that do real well, and you know, he does okay doing tournaments on other lakes, but some guys, he's not great. Some guys just can't make that transition. And I think he's one of the ones that just can't make that, you know, just kind of turn the page and be able to be consistent with the big boys. Or, I mean, I feel like he's got enough notoriety around here where he could get some financial backing doing it. Do it for a year or two, but I mean, he takes up all the money. Like, he's got a, they're getting, I don't know what the bonuses are for the boats, but I'm sure he's getting a boat bonus every one of them he wins, or every one of them where he's the highest placed. You know, they do these highest placed, I think he rides the Phoenix, highest placed Phoenix boat, and then one year they did highest paid Phoenix with or you know, whatever, with a, oh, it was a Camus one year, because my buddy had a Camus, his highest placing Camus with a Yamaha. And there were only, in that tournament, it was a qualified tournament, there were only 2 or 3 boats that had a Yamaha that were Camuses. So he was getting it it's like $750 every tournament just for showing up. Yeah, I don't like forward-facing sonar at all. Oh, little guy hit it. Oh, still on. Oh, missed it. Got one hit a couple times there. Forward-facing sonar, if you don't, like I said, like I was talking about last night, if you don't know how to catch fish, it's good for people that don't know how to catch fish and want to reel one in. But I just don't think. One of the problems with it too is, I mean, bass fishing is expensive, and that's just another thing that somebody's got to spend money on in order. And you don't have to spend money on to be competitive, but you're not going to be as competitive as you could be if you know how to do it. I don't think. And then it's probably just like anything else. There's times where you got to be doing something where you don't want to be out there looking on the screen, but just being able to see the fish take your bait, to me, is not something that belongs in fishing tournaments. But that's why I don't do it, man. There's a little creek that, I mean, well, it's just a ditch that comes in here. I always feel like there ought to be a fish here, but I've never done any good. We're gonna go down next to the boat ramp and finish up. We'll get a few fish on this top water down by the boat ramp. I really just don't understand why so many people defend it. They don't have real good arguments for it. Other than, well, I have to have it because everybody else has it. But that's the problem with the tournament stuff. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It does take, lose my hat. Yeah, I agree with you on the skill part. Like, it just, I was watching something the other night and the guy was talking about, you know, I had to make this when you're fishing with forward facing sonar, you know if there's a fish there or not. You can guys that are real good about it can tell how big he is. You know, when you don't have that option, yeah, you can find them on a fish finder with a side scanner, down imaging, or something like that. But you have no idea if they're actually on your bait, how they're relating to your bait. It's just you have to make basically an educated guess of where the fish are and make a cast, and then that educated guess, then the fish has to participate. It used to be making the fish bite was the hardest, finding the fish was the hardest part about bass fishing. It always has been. And now that part is no longer really the issue. Now it's the other way around. Uh-oh. Oh, did he get it? No, he didn't get it. Man, I saw a bunch of bait scoot out of there. And then one came up and just popped he didn't hit it hard. I don't think he was very big, but that's pretty cool. I threw it in there and twitched it a few times and all the bait just scattered. What is up with this thing? So, yeah, I mean, I mean, the skill part's definitely lacking too. It's just guys getting out there with a nothing bait. You know, if you're getting out there with a little minnow and just twitching it right in front of the fish's face and he doesn't hit it, and then you're like, oh, well, I see another one over there. You know, oh, there he is. Aha! Little guy on the top water. Little guy. I think we got a largemouth. That's not typical for down here. There we go. A little largy. Holy cow, somebody's out there fishing I've never ever seen anybody fishing on top of these rocks out here. That's wild. I had to make a walk around. There he is. There's the little guy. Kind of in the same spot as that last one. Another largemouth. Weird. Oh man, these are the ones that hooked me right here. See if I can get that first hook out of them, and then we'll. There we go. Now we can grab him. Little bitty guy. Oh yeah. There's nothing better than a good topwater bite. Usually get a smallmouth or two in here, but I haven't seen one yet. But normally the water's not this low either. They'd probably retreat to that other side where it's just a touch deeper. Right here it's like, right here it's 6 foot, over there it's probably 15. Skipping that joker. Oh, I see something on the other side. I'm gonna make a long cast across this thing. See if I can get those fish to come up. I just saw some bust. I don't know if I can reach them, but I'm gonna try. If I can get them to hit, that'll be interesting because they're way on the other side of this little berm I'm fishing. There he is. All right, little. I'm gonna get him over this thing here, and then we'll try for the next one. Oh, all right, got a little action right there too. I don't know if you can see it. That's a spot. He's getting it right in front of me. Oh yeah, get him. If I can get this spot off quick enough, I can probably throw in there and get him. Nope. I'll make that cast again on the other side and see if I can get another bite over there. Well, kind of weird going against the current like this. I've been stuck in the hand so many times. I got a short. If you look at my profile, you see a short where I said, "Oh, I did it again." I got three different videos, and one of them is right here. And that was probably that one that I did right here last year. Is probably the most painful hook removal I've ever had to do. That thing, it was on it. I think it was on this bait. I think it was on the poplar. But it buried that hook. Might have been a jerk. I think it was a jerk bait actually. But it buried that hook all the way to the bend. And I keep a pair of pliers. They have cutters on the outside of the pliers. And what I ended up having to do, man, there's some activity out here. What I ended up having to do with it is cut it off, and I could just barely grab the tip of the hook point coming out the other side, and I had to pull that hook through my skin out the other side. Did not feel good. Get on this other side and throw this thing upstream and work it down, and maybe they'll. I don't usually do good on the other side though. I always do good on this top side. Kind of weird, kind of counterintuitive. I think they set up on this side better, and they intercept the bait as it's coming up. I don't know. That's what everybody says about those bars on the river and everything. Fish the top side of them. Here comes our jet ski brothers. Yeah, that's no fun, man. I think it was last year I got my very first got my very first double treble in my. I got two hooks on one treble in me at one time. There he is. That's that fish I missed when I first came up. They're all about the same size. Oh, came off. All about 10 inches long. Oh, that might be a better fish right there. A little bit better. He came up and just kind of swiped at it. No, he's not. He's not big, but we'll take him. Smallie, smallmouth. We got our slam. We got our slam right here. That fish has been caught before too. Little smallmouth. The way he hit it, I thought he was a little bit bigger. He just kind of slurped it. Kaboom! Nothing. No kaboom. Comes the big waves. Ooh, had a little bite. I can see about a 5-pound smallie come up and just slap that thing. My biggest smallmouth is 4 3/4, so, and it was actually caught right here where I'm sitting. But it was not on the top water. Yeah, they just don't hit this thing good on the bottom side. That's like they do on the top side. I would think there'd be some fish in here, but it never really works out that way for me. Go around these guys fishing on the bank, and then we'll carry on. A bunch of snot floating right through here for some reason. I'm not sure what that's all about. Couple of small ones. A few small ones. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. I fished myself out of my zone, but we're just going to work down through here a little longer. Awesome, that's a big one. That thing wore you out. I know that one I caught, it wore me out, man. Oh, come on. There it goes. Look at that. Something. Oh, I thought something hit my bait while it was. Heard something come up and pop, and I was like, "Oh no, something just hit my bait while I'm trying to get my line all fixed." This little bank right through here used to have a lot of fish on it, and then we had one year where we had a lot of rain, and they were just pulling water for a really, really long time, and I haven't caught anything worth a flip on it since. I used to be able to go down this bank and just catch 10 or 15 of them. Decent spots and smallmouth. Hit it right on the bank, and I pulled it away from him. He wasn't big enough to get in his mouth, I don't think. Wait for all these waves to calm down. This guy in the ski boat came in here going about a quarter throttle, just enough to really, really plow through. I don't know where all the big smallmouth live in this river. I know people catch them, but I haven't figured it out. But I don't do a whole lot of real deep fishing either. Maybe if I got out there and got out there with my Ned rig, did some nedding. No, we're just gonna mess around down the bank for about another 10 minutes and then we're out. Usually what happens is right about this time of night, you start getting bites right up on the bank. And they're all about 8 or 10 inches long. Like I said, I don't know if that big storm, or not storm, but that big year that we had all that rain, I don't know if it changed some of the bottom down through here, moved some rocks around. I don't know, but it just isn't as good as it used to be. A solid bank. Or maybe I just caught them all. Maybe that's what happened. If you're gonna fish down here, main thing to do is just really concentrate on any irregularities. There's really not anything irregular about this bank. Usually what would happen is I'd be fishing about the same time I am now, just come in here at the end of the day and just kill the last little bit of day and see if you can get just get an end of the day bite. But I saw something of decent size right there. Ditch that comes in up here, and when I get to that ditch, that's my end game right there. Ooh, it kind of sailed on me there. It is interesting to me in these river systems how some areas that you would think that, like in the lake, a lot of times when you have specific structure on the bottom, or you have grass, or you have cover like stumps and logs, and they're pretty static, you can get fish on them on a regular basis. But in river systems, even though you have that stuff, they don't always relate. I think they're a little bit more bait centric. I don't know that for a fact, but it seems like they're a lot more bait centric in a river than they are generally. Thanks, Don. I appreciate it. Try to throw little tidbits of what little I know in there every now and then, just to confuse the masses, because it confuses me. Anybody seen any Anybody seen any mayflies up on the main lake yet? I'm curious if they're going to come out like they have in the past with that water being down. I guess it probably doesn't matter since it'll be up by the time they'll be doing their thing. I'm talking about nothing down through here. There's my little ditch. Completely drying out of the water. I think we may go back up and hit that little spot where we got all the bites one more time. I may try a spinnerbait on it. Curious if they'll hit a spinnerbait up there. I'm talking about nothing at all. That's strange, man. Strange how many bites you get on this bank. And now nothing. Well, that's how it goes. All right, we're gonna crank up. We're gonna ease up back up to the other spot. Let's see how much. Yeah, we still got some daylight. My sunglasses make it look like it's a lot darker than it really is. Yeah, y'all are seeing some mayflies. That's good. The mayflies that never come out till June. A nice sunset there. Kind of crawl up there and ooh, see a little bit of topwater action going on up there still. We're gonna keep the topwater close by, but I'm gonna try that spinnerbait across that current and see if something just whacks it on either side. All right, and give our Hail Mary here. Just a little Hail Mary, see if we got any. I'll take these sunglasses off because I can't see squat. We still got plenty of daylight out here. It feels like it's. You got dark glasses on, it feels like it's already nighttime. I had a bite. Had a little bite. Get to the other side, I just kind of slow it down and let it work down in that current a little bit. Kind of throwing across the bar, burning it till I kind of get into that. That way I'm not getting hung up on those rocks there, just under the surface, and slow it down and hope something comes and slaps it as soon as it gets over that ledge. But these fish are too smart for all that, I guess. It is interesting how all the bait fish seem to know right before one of those. Oh, there goes some fish right there getting chased. They seem to always know right before all the before the bass activate themselves. You always see them scooting away a pretty good while before you get bit. That bait size that's flicking out there, there's a bait called a riser bait. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of or used one of them, but it is, when they get on this, especially in the fall, when they get on bait real good and they're busting them on the surface, I don't think there's a better bait around. It looks just like one of those baits trying to scoot away, and you can fish it real fast and they'll come up and destroy it. I was actually thinking about tying one on. I got one sitting out. I might tie it on here in just a minute. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that when I get to the other side. See if I can. I've had some real good days on that thing down here, like 40 and 50 bass days. And these are probably as good a conditions as you can get for it. Let's do that. I want to see what's going on with that thing. They're obviously too small for this spinnerbait. I'm just going to put it on my little spinning rod with 8-pound line on it. If I can find it, where'd I put it? There it is. I just throw stuff in the floor wherever I feel like. And then when I look for it, it's still on the floor. Let's try this little riser bait out. Oh, something just blew up right next to the boat. But I'm telling y'all right now, I don't know if anybody's fished Hiawassee Lake before. It's just full of spotted bass. And in the fall, it's right inside North Carolina near Murphy. And in the fall, that thing just comes alive with fish eating on top. And last year I caught some really good ones on this thing. Just a little bitty. It looks really weird. They're expensive, but I'm gonna tell you right now, and they're a little bit hard to make work right sometimes. one's working right. I'm gonna throw it across so I can kind of make sure it's, yeah. Oh, had a bite. You can fish it pretty fast, and it just kind of wobbles like a spoon on the surface. But if you fish it just a little bit faster, it kind of kicks off to the side, and man, it looks realistic. I'll get that fish on this cast, I bet. He's still there. Yeah, oh, he hit it again. Dang. Fooled him twice, shame on me. But this is just a really neat bait. And I like it because you can just throw it out there and reel it in, and it just kind of wobbles. It doesn't, it's real subtle. But the fish come up and they like this thing, man. I can't say enough good stuff when you got a nice calm. When you got a calm evening like this, or you got calm, it doesn't work real good in wind. But if you have calm conditions, and especially like tonight where you see them actively feeding on stuff on the surface, give it a try if you got one of them. I've got a, they call this a 007 size. I don't know if it's, I don't know what that 7 centimeters maybe, I don't know, it's kind of small. But they make an 8. And I caught a 5-foot shark on that 8, and he came up. I've never seen a bull shark come up and hit a daggum lure on the surface. But he came up and busted that thing on the surface and got caught right in front of the teeth. And that's the only reason I didn't lose him or break him off. Fought him for about an hour and a half. Finally got him up next to the kayak, and was able to get my lure back. I got it hanging up in the garage now because it's got holes all in it from where he was biting it. Oh, I know we're gonna get another bite on this thing. I just know it. Oh, it was gonna be right there. We'll get one on the other side of this thing. Give it just a few more minutes. Appreciate everybody sticking around. Get a little, hopefully late evening topwater bite for you coming up. May not be a real big fish, but they're not all big ones. Thing does not. The one thing it doesn't do real good against the current. You got to kind of, it's doing all right now. Yeah. And I like this. This one's kind of a white with a chartreuse back, and I mainly just like it because I can see it because it's kind of subtle and I can see it pretty good. We'll try this going down a little bit, and if we don't get a bite on it, we'll throw the pop-R back on and finish up. Right there, I think that's where I was having that bite earlier. There we go. We got our speed right now. See, as you get it up there and you kind of get it to where it wobbles, and then, oh yeah, there's one, missed it. And then you speed it up just a little bit more and it'll start kicking off just a little bit, and that's the retrieve you want. And I know you can't see this thing because it's dark out here, but throw it back in there and see if he comes up and gets it again. Nope. And if you reel it too fast, it'll just kind of flatten out, not make any movement at all. If you reel it too slow, it'll do the same thing. And if you got them and they're really on it good, and you have one come up and miss it, a lot of times if you just stop it and let it fall, it kind of falls backwards. Another one will come and grab it. I'm trying going across this. Oh, no. Got me on the other side of that ridge. Feels like it's a decent fish, but he's got me on the rock. Trying to get him over. I think I might have to get over there and get to him. Oh, it came off. Okay. Whew. That was a decent fish. But he had me on the other side of those rocks. Anything I could do about it. Ooh. I gotta retie because he got my line all frayed up out there. And these things are too expensive not to retie. And I've caught some fish bass fishing with that bigger size too. But I think it seems like the smaller one just does a little better for me in the bass. And I've caught some saltwater. Good saltwater fish on the other one. Like Jacks love this thing, man. I think I got a video out there where I got catching 3 or 4 pound jacks on every cast. On a seawall, they're coming up just destroying it. Well, all right, we're gonna turn around and then we're out of here. I'm gonna get a little closer to this thing where I think if I'd been a little closer, I might have got that fish and been able to get my angle up on him a little bit. Oh, there we go, I messed up. Fish get on this thing right at dark. That's the spot right there. Well, if I can get it to work right, Oops. Ooh, if y'all are still here, I appreciate it, man. Y'all can't hardly see anything. I'm just trying to see if I get a good one, I guess, huh? It's almost done. I just saw something. That like it might have been reputable, but it didn't hit my bait. It's like it came up, swirled on something, and then went down. Well, had a couple little bites there, and that was it. At that time, there's like a weird time of night where it seems like the top water bite just completely stops. Well, I think that's about it. Give it another cast or two here and then we're done. Luckily we don't have far to run. Yeah, that's it for me. But I appreciate everybody coming out and watching for a little while. We just get out here when I can and try to catch a few little green fish. Today we caught a few brown ones. That's always fun. I think it gets a little, June and July can be a little bit tougher sometimes, but once it gets a little bit later in the summer and they start doing the bait fish thing, I think we'll get some more numbers. I don't know, I don't know what people want to watch. I don't know if they want to see numbers or big fish or numbers of big fish or exotic locations. I just like fishing a bunch of different places, seeing what happens. And if I get in a situation where I'm really enjoying myself, I'll make multiple trips to the same place. I've done that a couple times this year. Been up to the Hiawassee a few times and a couple other spots. Just made a couple more, but I almost never, it seems like almost never, I'll fish the same spots a couple of times, but I won't fish them more than maybe twice. Except at Gunnersville. Some of that stuff I fish at Gunnersville is good. It's good all year. You just got to hit the right conditions for it. So I got to be a little bit, when I go down there, I'm a little bit more selective on what kind of actual fishing conditions I'm going to have. I like to have overcast if I can, and I definitely like to be there right at daylight for what I'm doing. And you wouldn't think these pop-Rs would be real good in the, I'll put that back in the truck. You wouldn't think these pop-Rs would be real good in the wind, but one of the best days I've had down there on the pop-R was, I mean, it was stupid windy. And they were just coming up blasting it like they never seen anything like it. So, let me turn my light on before Don yells at me. I don't need Don to yell at me again. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, y'all can't see squat, so if you're still here, I really appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.